You feel like
At middle school, we focus on the 6 major habits: inquiring learner, critical thinker, effective collaborator, effective communicator, active and responsible decision maker, critical thinker, and engaged learner. In addition to the metro habits, the teachers try to incorporate both the left hemisphere, logical, and the right hemisphere, artistic, learning into the school day. For example, the language arts teachers will have us modernize a scene from a play and the performance. To keep us from becoming discouraged in the face of adversity, our advisors teach us to have a growth mindset. All of these qualities are equally important into shaping us into the best students we can be.
When we finish an experiment, we revise and further our research to better our understanding. We did this throughout the assignment, but specifically during the sense of smell experiment. In this experiment, we wafted a container of peppermint under our nose and timed how long it took for us to become unable to smell the peppermint anymore. Throughout this, we inquired about what smell was and how olfactory fatigue worked by looking through our notes and utilizing Google. The way we did this was to reread the passage and to look on the internet for an answer. Although this experiment took less time than the others, we learned just as much material.
While working together throughout the whole assignment, we researched and reasoned out the best way to perform any given experiment. We did this primarily in the touch section, where the subject closes their eyes and the experimenter adjusts the distance between the points on the caliber. The experimenter then touches the caliber to a part of the subject's body, asks them if it's 1 point or 2, and widens the distance between the points if it was 1. After we were done, we compared the distance between the points on 3 different parts of the body: the back of the neck, the fingertip, and the calf. We demonstrated critical thinking by focusing on whether or not we could feel 2 points of contact through the caliber. We also used self-control, or the left hemisphere, not to accidentally hurt each other with the caliber.
During the taste test, we had to trust and work with each other when testing the other person on the cotton swab to make sure we worked in an effective and timely manner. We put tastes such as sweet, salty, sour, or bitter on a cotton swab, then placed it into a section of our partner's tongue to determine if they could taste it or not. We tested each taste bud area to see the different areas we could taste flavor. By being able to trust each other, we use effective collaboration and, most importantly, teamwork.
We traded materials and listened to the instructions given by the teacher in every activity, especially during hearing. The subject tells the experimenter when they can't hear the sound anymore, and the experimenter stops moving the tuning fork. In this activity, it was critical that we were paying attention to each other and the tuning fork. In the next section, the subject plugs their ears and the experimenter taps a tuning fork on the table and then to a part of the body. While doing this, we used our right hemisphere to come up with places to touch with the tuning fork to see if we could still hear the buzzing farther away from the head.
While working on the brain dissection, we followed instructions without messing around. We only dissected sections of the brain that we were instructed to, instead of disrespecting the specimen or dissecting the brain irresponsibly and making a large mess. While dissecting the brain, we extracted the thalamus, which controls sensory information, pain, attention, and alertness. Both groups also took out the brainstem, which is in charge of involuntary functions. The hypothalamus, the third and final thing we removed, controls sleep, temperature, and moods.
When doing the sight test, we helped each other measure our sight in order to find our blind spot. The blind spot is where the retina meets the optic nerve, making it unable to process light. We held a piece of paper which had 2 marks on it at arm's length and brought it in towards our face. When we could no longer see the circle at the edge of the paper, another person measured the distance between the paper and our face. We stayed focused on the assignment and did not get off track, so we still had time to finish the conclusion before the class was over, and also had time to ask questions when we were confused about a part of the project.
Throughout the overall project, we used both the left hemisphere through learning facts, applying science, and writing reports, and the right hemisphere through coming up with unusual solutions and freedom to experiment in our own way. We developed our growth mindset while making the video portion of the project. It would be so easy just to do barely enough, but from the moment we stepped into this school, we had it instilled in us that the bare bones would never pass. As a group, we agreed that the growth mindset is one of the most important things this school teaches us. It prepares us for a world in which not everything comes easy, and to succeed you must try hard. The school succeeds in its vision immensely by personalizing our learning experience.